Hello there, Ringside Crew.
Hey dudes at Ringside Crew, this is Davian.
Hey, it's Jenny Santana here.
This is Elsie.
This is the Savage Juggernaut, Tamaku.
Inside Ring!
This is Thomas D. Bruff.
This is Billy Starks.
Mr. Chad Epic.
Megan Mason.
Hey everybody, Scotland's own Brody Adler.
The headliner in charge, Marco Mania.
This is your girl Charisma.
Papa Dink, Brendan Dicker.
This is According to Woods.
Savannah Summers.
I'm Shorty.
Tasman Inside.
You are watching
The internationally known
Dudes at Ringside podcast, hosted by Metal Geek and Joe the Panther Jr.
Hello there, wrestling fans! Welcome to another episode of the internationally known Dudes at Ringside podcast. I am your host, Joe the Panther the Third, and now from the top of Metal Mountain, all covered in hay and frapshackles of the holiday. Thank you, Vinny. Welcome again. It's in the middle of the mosh pit. It's the Metal Geek.
What's going on, Ringside Crew? What's going on, internationally known? What's going on, everybody? What's going on, Joe? How's it going today?
Hey, Vinny. I'll say it. I'm good. Good to see you again, Geek. Did you have a nice little resty?
A good Jets win today, you know?
Oh, my God. What a win. Oh, my God. Geek, you just made me happy. I hated, I thought you were rough around the edges. Hi, Virus.
Hi, Mr. Virus. And,
Hi, Mr. Virus.
I'm very scared right now.
Yeah. Geek, you made me hate the heel a little less. You just gave me a little happy moment. My Jets had
It's kind of a segue into our segment. So speaking of heels, Joe, right?
Yeah.
Speaking of heels, are you turning heel, right?
Always, sort
Are
of.
you turning heel? Because let's give a warm Dudes at Ringside welcome to the host of Turning Heel podcast, Troy Gonzalez.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for having me on.
Welcome. I wanted to have me say the name, but Geek's been saying it lately, and I'm like, he knows that I'm the.
I'm sorry. I was such on a roll there with the. We had the Virus in the chat right there, and then he just said, "Well, you know, it's kind of, the heels are always popping up in our chat," and then we had the heels on the podcast tonight. So I'm like, it's a good segue right now into introducing the guest. So I'm like, you know,
he named it the Happy Heel, but remember, I am the Latino one of the podcast, the popping collar, Panther always dancing, but I say the Spanish name's better, but he decides to say it, and I'm like, go for it, Geek.
All right, Joe, you could do the introduction now. Go ahead.
All right, I'd like to hear it.
Let's give a warm Dudes at Ringside welcome to the host of Turning Heel podcast, Troy Gonzalez.
There we go. All right.
There
Thank you so much for having me, you guys. And I'm doing well. It's a Monday morning here, but luckily I don't have classes on Mondays, so I'm free.
Oh, jeez.
Rest of the day, I'm free.
Yeah.
Glad we got you on a day we're doing class. And 10 a.m., I'd be just doing the pallets at work, and I'm still standing there going, there's more coming in?
Virus wants to remind you he's the number one heel in the country, Joe.
All right, interesting.
Yeah.
The Virus is from the UK. He wrestles for an indie promotion. Geek, you do the announcement better than I do.
It works for an indie promotion called Outcast Pro Wrestling. They do their show on the island, you know?
The Island of Wight.
Yeah.
They're actually on. They always do their shows on Twitch.
Yeah.
They have their roster's not big, but they have a lot of a good variety of wrestlers that Geek and I never thought that we would actually like see them, because, you know, we're from America and we just stick to our wrestling on this side of the pond. But like getting wrestlers like Kiara and Shorty on our podcast, we started like opening our eyes up to wrestling that we thought we would never watch.
Right.
Like that. Yeah. So What do you both think about the wrestling that's happened lately with WWE and AEW? Geek, which one do you want to cover first?
I think we should cover the most recent, which was Crown Jewel, which happened yesterday for us, but 2 days, was it 2 days ago, right?
Yeah, I think like a day and a half because it started
Yeah.
like 12 a.m. here in the Philippines. So yeah, more or
Yeah.
less.
Yeah. But yeah, so let's just go into that main event. If you guys want to talk about that main event from Crown Jewel, I mean, Logan Paul, Roman Reigns has to be a candidate for match of the year. I think Roman's killing it right now. He's absolutely doing amazing work, and you have someone like Logan Paul, who's got so much to prove in the wrestling business, and he just nailed it in that match. And I think that has to be one of my favorite matches this year, but there is some pretty stiff competition. So
True. I do agree. And especially for someone like Logan Paul that you said has a lot to prove. Like I believe this is only his third match. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure this is his only third match like in WWE or like even in entirety of wrestling as a whole. So he really does have something to prove with this being his third match, already main eventing a pay-per-view. And we all know like the pre-existing like notions that we have towards sort of these celebrity crossovers into wrestling. And most of the time they don't do too well, that they only want to be like there for the paycheck and for the on-screen appearance. But you can sort of see that he is sort of passionate about like being a part of WWE, and you see that he works hard, and of course it pays off in the ring. And so I can't help but like have this respect for him in a way, regardless of like the things that he's controversial things that he's done in the past outside of wrestling. But I have to give credit where credit's due. It was a really good match, and he showed up.
Mm.
and not only that, he trained with Shawn Michaels during that for that
Right.
match too. So it's like someone to get trained by like Shawn Michaels, he's got to be good.
True. And you definitely can't take away that he's obviously had like better opportunities. As you said, like he got to train with Shawn Michaels, and not everyone can have the platform as big as that. And so I'm really thankful that at least he took advantage of that and he worked hard, given the opportunities that he's been given. So yeah, as I said, like regardless of the things he's done in the past, I can't help but seeing his work in the ring against Roman, like I still have to show some sort of respect, give credit where credit's due, because I guess he does deserve it.
Yeah, that and him using like he even did tuning up the band. The
Right.
tune up the band during the match to like tribute to
Right.
Shawn Michaels, and that was absolutely awesome. So see that during the match, and not only that spot, to see the selfie spot that he did. I know.
Oh,
I think
yeah.
Joe knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I
where
watched it
he-
like once or twice. I was like, this guy did not just do that.
I think I might have watched that clip at least 300 times. I just think, man, I don't think anybody has ever did a diving elbow with their phone. That's what was going through my mind while I was watching that. It's like, Joe, have you ever seen anybody use their phone at a wrestling show where they actually recorded themselves doing a diving elbow?
Well, we know one wrestler in America that's now going to probably try it. One from a promotion
Oh,
you always go to. On
Yeah,
the
yeah, one person we know from America definitely, because
yeah,
he's one of the biggest fans of Logan Paul, by the way.
All right. That
He's
definitely-
one, so that's coming right there, Joe. right?
and we know the amateur wrestlers are going to try to do it on TikTok now, and I'm going to be like, no.
Right. Those TikToks are gonna go viral even towards like non-wrestling fans, because they're gonna be like, "What the hell is going on? Why is this man jumping off the top rope, holding his phone?" But yeah, I mean, it's good for the product, I guess, if it reaches like non-wrestling fan audiences.
Yeah.
The virus said this spot was decent. He said he did it at Lights Out back in May.
Oh, see, the
Yeah.
virus did it first.
There you go.
Perfect.
That's right. Kane was right, Joe. Kane
Kane
was right.
did it first. Virus is gonna beat you up, geek. You're dropping kayfabe, bro.
Yeah.
And not to mention, the match was a great match, but it was sad to say that he got hurt. So like, it wasn't just a regular shot match. Man got injured, but he had a like 6-star match in the Tokyo Dome. Like,
Right.
I say that he gets so mad. He's like, ugh. And I'm not. I'm the old school guy on the podcast. He's the New Japan and stuff like that. So
All
I
right.
get his goat and say, in NW New Japan. He goes, it's my thing.
I mean, it's a good dynamic. It's a good pairing. For like
Yeah.
the show.
Yeah, he's got the old school, and I got the strong style. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
Right.
that's the mix right there. Between me and Joe. So
But every time I get mad at him, Troy, I go, I'm gonna pull a Shawn Michaels and throw you through the barbershop window.
Love that.
yeah,
I need that clip. We need to find that clip, Geek, and just play it.
the barbershop window, the infamous barbershop window.
Just have my face on Shawn Michaels' body. And
Shawn
have Geek-
Michaels.
Marty Jannetty.
Marty Jannetty. Right.
Someone needs to make that TikTok for us, please. Someone make that TikTok. We need that TikTok clip. Yeah. All right. What's next on the thing, Geek?
What's next? Well, yeah. So, I mean, to be honest, I would love this. I'm a huge New Japan fan, and I talk about this a lot on the podcast. I always wanted to see Roman Reigns versus Okada. I think that would be an amazing match.
True. I have seen lots of tweets on Twitter, because of the whole I don't think it's a New Japan promotion, but Shinsuke got announced for something against the Great Buddha, and people, yeah, that one. Sorry, I'm not aware, but people were oh, sort of Forbidden Door going on, maybe with Triple H in charge, they're sort of more open to allowing WWE talent to cross over with other promotions, maybe not AEW because of WWE AEW relationships. But maybe with outside of America promotions such as that, maybe they're more lenient towards that. And with people wanting to see Okada and Roman Reigns go up against each other, knowing the natural talent that they do have with themselves as individual wrestlers, I can definitely see maybe in the future if people manifest it enough, maybe, and if the timing is right, if the place is right, maybe it could happen. But yeah, that's definitely a match that people are gonna have to see in the near future.
I mean, I wouldn't want to see it right now because I think both guys are at their prime right now. So it's
Right.
it's kind of like if Okada loses to Roman, that would be really, really bad for New Japan. So, but something maybe down the line, that match would be awesome.
True.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah. Triple H has Troy, Carl.
Oh. Right. And also, I think they did mention the whole Bullet Club faction going on in during commentary on Crown Jewel, and they also mentioned that Carl was never open weight champion. Am I using the terms right? Yeah, but
never open weight champion. Yeah,
never open weight champion. So they've been very open with mentioning non WWE references, and even in the women's tag team match, they mentioned that Io and Asuka were a part of the Triple Tails with Mio Shirai back in Japan. So I sort of see that WWE is being more inclusive of wrestling references outside of their whole WWE universe or outside of their own storylines, which I feel is a good move because we've never really seen that during the whole Vince run, because I guess he wants it to be more restricted in his case.
What would you think if they ever did their own version of the Forbidden Door, the Judgment Day, oh, you guys don't have friends, you don't have any friends, lights go out and all you hear is boop 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 Bullet Club, too sweet. I would die. I would fall out of my chair, and then you would just hear bruh, 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 bruh. I don't know how it would happen, because remember, the Bullet Club are all heels, so wouldn't they join the Judgment Day?
That's actually true too. It's
that's true too.
Yeah, we forgot Mickey James was back in the Rumble, under the McMahon era. So who knows what Triple H, what tricks. That's why I'm very intrigued about this year's Royal Rumble, because I have no idea what tricks Triple H has up his
You
sleeve.
really do, Virus. You really do know your shit. This guy. Virus could start his own podcast. No, that'd be bad. The Kane. No,
It kind of does have his own podcast if you watch it, Joe.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
cheap plug.
Yeah, cheap plug for the Virus's podcast.
Virus,
right
you
there.
can plug your podcast in the chat. We won't get mad. We love you, Virus. Yeah. He's another good guy. He's another one of our favorite people from the UK. He's on fire today, Geek. Look at this.
Triple H wants 40, and 40 in 2023 Royal Rumble.
Really?
Wow, that would be a good Rumble. 40 people? Like
40 and 2 Rumbles, 40 each. How long would that pay-per-view be? Damn.
Jeez. Like, what do you think, guys? Would you do that Rumble like 2 days? Like the WrestleMania?
Probably. It's either that or they just have like just the 2 Rumbles and I guess like some World Championship matches. So I guess Roman will have a match, maybe Bianca as well, and maybe like a tag team match for the Usos, and then probably the 2 Rumbles, and that's it. Because if they add more matches than that, it'll be like 5-hour pay-per-view. No thank you. As someone who wakes up at 8 a.m. for wrestling pay-per-views here in the Philippines, no thank you. Not for me.
You would have to be sponsored by Dunkin' Donuts to be able to get up for that.
Right.
Screw you.
Entry numbers would go from 120 seconds to 90 seconds. Or why not just make it 60? You know what I mean? Every 60 seconds. You know what I mean?
Like who wouldn't, like, you know? I know how the WWE games, they only let you choose what kind of what the number of people they have in a Royal Rumble, but like I've always dreamed to have a 40-man, but then you know how the create a character mode is, they never let you do like 100 anymore. I don't know if you guys have both known that with WWE games, they changed the amount of creative characters last year. I think this year, last year into this year, they changed the amount of creative characters, and I got mad about that because I love uploading people's creations. Like,
right.
Yeah.
And with 40 man, I could have the whole old school roster in Royal Rumble, like everybody.
Now, this year's Royal Rumble, do you guys see like an appearance from Great Muta or no? As a one-off deal, because they were doing the thing with Nakamura in Pro Wrestling Noah.
I think it's definitely possible. I mean, obviously with like Mickie James even coming back as Impact Knockouts champion, with them allowing her to come out with her Impact theme, with her Impact belt, and her whole like hardcore country gimmick, I can definitely see them being open to that possibility. So yeah, never say never. Never say never.
Because the reason I say that is because, okay, we're going to give you Nakamura for for Pro Wrestling Noah for January 1st. How about you be in the 40-man Royal Rumble as a surprise entrant to help promote the retirement tour? And it opens both that. You know?
I could totally see them doing that with like the Royal Rumble, like having people that you normally wouldn't see in the Rumble. I'm even going to toss in names from Impact that I don't know if they're still on the roster. The 2 like Velvet Sky, or maybe even like her tag team partner, come in for the Rumble for like one time only that no one's ever seen. Because I don't think Velvet Sky has been in the WWE, right? Or was she back in the day?
I don't think so. None that I know of. I know Madison's been like in the Mae Young Classic, and I think Angelina might have done something in the past as like an enhancement talent, but Velvet, none that I know of. So maybe, who knows?
I know Bully Ray was with her for a while, so I thought WWE, since like she was with
That's
Bully
true.
Ray. I'm sorry.
I'm not entirely sure. So hopefully
I
in
don't
the
want to
future.
spread rumors. All of a sudden they're like Joe from Dudes at Ringside said that it happens to me every time. I'm thinking I'm gonna say something here, and it's gonna end up like on no DQ, like an hour later.
You heard it first. Dudes at Ringside. Metal Geek says Great Muda will be in the Royal Rumble this year.
There we go. There's your insider, everyone.
It's
You
gonna
heard it
end
first.
up on no GQ in 3, 2, 1.
There we go.
Yeah, I say that Velvet Sky and Bully Ray are dating. It's gonna end up there in Geek. I get like 15 text messages from Geek the next day. Joe, go look at no DQ. He's sending me screenshots, and I'm like, did I end it? Did I just get famouser? Like even more famous? No, I'm just kidding. I made that no DQ for not a good reason because I spread a rumor. Like I heard a rumor. What other wrestlers do you think that would be on the 40 man and women Royal Rumble? What other people would you toss on there?
Well, if you ask me for the Women's Rumble, I really hope that WWE is open to welcoming Impact women, especially the Knockouts, just because I think the Knockouts are, I feel like, a very underrated division. Like, you have the likes of Deanna, Chelsea Green, Giselle Shaw, maybe even Jordan Grace, because she's the champion right now. So I definitely want them, since I think WWE is more like they have a better working relationship with Impact with the whole Mickey situation last year. And I feel like that whole announcement of Mickey being in the Rumble did waves for Impact and got even non-Impact wrestling fans invested in what Mickey was going to do because she was in a storyline with Deanna at the time. So I really hope they do bring in some new talent from the Knockouts division, or if they want to bring in a new face for the women's division, like a new indie star, much like how they debuted AJ Styles in the Royal Rumble back then. I sort of want them to bring in like a female talent from the indies to sort of have that same moment that AJ Styles did. Though I'm not entirely sure who that could be, but I feel like it would be really interesting for that to happen. And same goes for the men's rumble. Maybe they could have some men from Impact. Someone who's just new to the Impact division is Joe Hendry, who's been a trainer for like a lot of wrestlers in the UK. Or who else is in Impact right now in the men's division? But yeah, I definitely want to see more crossovers because I think it's really fun to see these non-WWE wrestlers be on the WWE stage, especially one that's as big as the Royal Rumble. So I just hope WWE is open to having more non-WWE talent on their show.
I totally agree, like, because Impact's cool, but like people like you said that have not had the opportunity to be on that stage of WWE that deserve it, like Velvet Sky,
Right.
her partner, what's her name, ODB. My gosh, there's so many women that are in Impact that just have not made it up that staircase, made it up that hill. But happy Stranger Things day, guys. like they haven't made it up that hill yet to make it into the WWE. They're known from Impact. They've been seen on YouTube, on the internet, all over the world, but they haven't just done that one like grab. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, it's hard because wrestling, everybody thinks it's such an easy world. It's not easy.
Yeah, it's not.
It's not easy. Like so many different, right, Geek? There's like so many different there's so many different like groups and parts that you have to take to get into the wrestling spotlight. Like the indies seem easy, but they're not. Like,
Right.
Name
If
like
anything, they
Buddhas.
might be harder than like mainstream platforms because you have lots of competition who also want to make it big. So it's a difficult industry to be in.
yes.
Name like Muda is Mania worthy.
Oh,
So
definitely.
that's what they're saying, and it's like bigger market for bigger payoff. So
Oh yeah. You know what match I would love to see at Mania, and it sounds kind of a stretch because we're already gonna have Muda versus what's his name, Nakamura. I would love to see at a WrestleMania Nakamura versus Finn Balor.
I think it happened before. It's happened.
Did it? But not in WWE.
It's happened in NXT.
Yeah, I think it did happen in NXT.
It did happen in NXT. So.
But it didn't happen on the main stage.
Oh, that's true though. It hasn't like on the main roster. So.
It's like a concert, outdoor concert. It happened on the small stage in the corner. It wasn't in the big stage in the back.
Right.
It was
right.
up by
I love the
stages.
analogy.
You know what I mean? It was in the stages by the bathrooms. This wasn't on the main stage with the cool seats. Like
Gotcha.
Matt Cardona for the Rumble for sure.
That's what I heard. I heard something about that.
Why I say that is because why I agree with that is because Stephanie McMahon and Brett Lauderdale have that GCW deal working, so you never know, something might be brewing between WrestleMania and Royal Rumble.
True. And there have been rumors about like Chelsea Green, like sort of like WWE being interested in bringing back Chelsea Green. And you know how they sort of get couples together, like when they sign them. So when it comes to like Karrion Kross and Scarlett, quite recently Madcap Moss and Emma returning. So I feel like if they do get Chelsea Green back, I'm pretty sure they also want to show interest in Matt Cardona. Although I think Matt's been very vocal about not wanting to go back to WWE, so I'm not entirely sure about.
Yeah, Matt's killing it right now. He's killing it right now. Matt Cardona, man, on the Indies right now and GCW, he's a king right now. He's booked in every single promotion right now. And GCW, he's like their most over heel right there. So
was it last year, Geek, that he had pretty much every indie promotion's championship belt? Like he was a picture of him like this, and he had everybody's belts on his arms. I was like, okay, that's gonna break something in here or like up here. Like he even had one in New York. He had the NYWC championship on default. He didn't win that belt. He didn't deserve that.
Anyone who says that they wouldn't go back to WWE throws everyone off the scent. Right?
Yep,
that's the whole point of being a surprise.
Yeah,
right.
Definitely. Come on, Joe. You don't want that WWE money, don't you?
I do. I would love to have dudes at ringside on the WWE network. That would be cool. Hey,
that would be cool.
There's a right. Wouldn't you want the WWE money to be on?
Sorry, Joe. The WWE network doesn't exist anymore.
In my heart, it does.
Yeah, it's only on Peacock.
No, I'm old school. I don't. In my heart, it's not WWE Network. It's the what they called back in the day, Legends or whatever it was called. I think it was called Legends. Yeah, it had a different name, WWE Network, back in the day. It was like it had a weird name. They only had old school matches and some shows. That's what it was back in the day.
WWE24, is that what you're talking about?
Ding, that's what it was.
Okay.
My heart is WWE24.
There we go.
Soon to be purchased by Disney. Are we talking about Universal or are we talking about WWE?
See, Geek's a nerd for Universal, so he immediately gets excited when he hears Universal.
Because I heard Universal and Disney are in talks about a merger or something like that. So I don't know if you're talking about.
Are we about to get a Fiend house at Universal Studios?
That would be cool.
At Halloween Horror Night, we're gonna get a Fiend house.
We're gonna get a Fiend house, exactly. Yeah.
Jeez. Or no, a whole land. Like
we'll get an Undertaker house too at Halloween.
I told that to my sister like in 2019, and she was like, "Oh, please, God, no." Come on, I don't go. I'll walk the other direction, Joe. And I said, "No, you can sit outside, sit on the bench, and drink a soda. I'll go in there by myself. I don't care. It's a wrestling house."
I'm the hugest nerd for Universal Studios right there.
Right. I have been to Universal Studios like in Singapore, and yeah, it's definitely like cool with like different types of attractions that they have. Yeah, I understand.
Do they have the same ones as they have in America? Or do they have like the Jurassic Park one and stuff like that?
Well, I'm assuming yes, but I guess they have like some minor differences. So yeah, they do
Hmm.
have the Jurassic Park. They do have it was a long time ago. I don't remember much, but it was very pretty much all of the movies that Universal has had. They had it.
Take care,
I guess
virus.
that's what one place you're gonna hit up when you come to America. Bye, virus. Thank you for
Sure.
coming in, bud.
Yeah.
Well, it will let us know if you're in the States about Halloween Horror Night in Orlando, and we could all hang out.
Sure, I'll let you guys know.
Yeah.
We're trying to make a trip next year, so if it is next year, we all can hang out.
If Joe's trying to make a trip, it's probably going
Oh,
to fail miserably. You know that.
it's gonna trip, drop, spill all the coffees. I got it. I'm that guy. Like I got it.
It's like we're trying to make a trip to Universal. It's not happening, right?
What's that movie with the girl? She's working in the fashion business. She has all the coffees and she drops all of them. What's that? Oh my god, what's that? Devil Wears Prada. When the girl has all the
I think
coffees.
so. Yeah, I think
Yeah,
so.
that's me. I'm like
I never
plans,
saw
the
that movie.
plans, the plans are the coffees, and I'm the person holding it, and then I just drop them.
Just drop everything. Right.
That's me always. Every plan. Or I'm the cat. I just geeks the podcast. A guest is geek. The table is geek, and the cup is geek, and he just drops everything. No.
Yeah. So how did you get into podcasting, Troy? Exactly.
So I've actually been podcasting for about 2 years now, not with Turning Heel, but with another podcast that I used to have called the Pipe Bombshell Podcast, and I used to have a co-host, but due to like personal circumstances, he had to like my co-host had to like take time off, and so I didn't feel right like pursuing the podcast without like the co-founder. So I decided to just establish my own brand, and from then, given like the experience that I had, I sort of just went with what I already knew. And with podcasting, I just really wanted to have a platform to talk about wrestling. In my case, my niche is women's wrestling, and so since it's relatively less work to do a podcast compared to a YouTube channel, I decided that all right, maybe I could try out podcasting because I also wanted to explore content creation. So I looked it up. I looked up the different types of equipment I would need, some softwares, and from then on, I just started doing my own thing. So
Mhm.
that's pretty much how I got into turning heel.
It's cool.
Yeah. What would you say some of your favorite matches are, like of all time? It's a
All time. All right. So in the era that I grew up in, it was the era where the women didn't get that much like time to showcase their abilities. So this was the Divas era. But my favorite match during the Divas era, definitely AJ Lee and Caitlyn for the Divas Championship in Payback. I'm a really big fan of AJ Lee. Not sure with her husband's actions as of late, but AJ has been like a really big inspiration on me. So definitely that. But if we're talking about all time, has to be Sasha and Bianca main event of WrestleMania because it was really historic. With like the first two black women to main event at WrestleMania, it really showcased the history. The storyline could have been better, but the match itself was amazing, and I couldn't help but tear up while it was happening. And so, yeah, that match has a special place in my heart. Um, what else? This match I didn't really grow up watching because I wasn't even born yet, but I played it during like I think it was the Road to WrestleMania or like the 30 like when WrestleMania 30 was around, like the video game that came out at the time, the showcase was like one match per WrestleMania. And the one that really stood out to me was Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart in that Iron Man match. So yeah, I'm also a big fan of Shawn Michaels, though I didn't grow up watching him. Like doing my research as a kid, like he definitely stood out as a top babyface. And I love heels, obviously with the whole turning heel moniker. And so when Sean worked heel with Sherry Martel, it was amazing. It was amazing. So
Best
yeah,
theme
those are
song
I would
ever.
say though. And best theme song ever. Like up until
Yes.
now, insane.
I can't tell you how many times my dad has come running into my room. I live in the basement and going, what the hell is that sound? It sounds like a cat getting stepped on. I was like, that's Sherry.
Right.
How dare you?
Right.
It's
right.
the old big old big iPod that's almost smaller than my iPhone. My screen's horrible. I shouldn't even look at it. My gosh. But it's smaller than my cell phone. It's that big iPod that they had for a while. That song is on there, and it's on my WWF songs that I have on there.
Right.
And that's one of the ones, and I swear, it's like clockwork. My dad's like, what the hell is that? I'm like, that's Shawn Michaels' song. Who would let that woman scream on their song? I'm like, that's Sherry.
Sherry Martel.
Geek
It's an iconic song.
Oh gosh, Geek likes to sing the Kurt Angle version of it. It's his favorite.
Oh jeez, that word.
It's like Geek's favorite. Geek, how does it go, Geek?
No, still my favorite match. One of my favorite Kurt Angle Shawn Michaels matches was from WrestleMania 21. Obviously, I don't know how Joe feels about that match, but still one of my favorite Kurt matches though.
That's when me and you fought, right? We were yelling at. Wasn't that the match me and you started yelling at each other?
Yeah, but I'm like, Joe, you can't say that wasn't a good match. After all these years, I
stormed
know.
out of the room like the mad girlfriend that said, "No, come on,
fuck this shit." All right.
Yeah, fuck this shit. Yeah, like
I even pulled the handset joke. Come on, man, that was a good match. No, fuck that shit.
Should have been on video. Too bad it wasn't like, was it 2001? Was this 2001?
I forgot what
was it
year.
around 2001?
No, it wasn't. No, it was after 2001 because
2003.
It might have been 05.
Yeah, wish we had well, if there was a video, it would be a video camera. It would have to be like a video camera in the corner of the room. Dang it! See, Geek.
Joe was the Cartman at the party.
Yeah, I was like, you guys, I'm getting him. That was me.
Everyone's enjoying WrestleMania at the party, and then Joe was just there saying, "No, fuck that shit." You know?
No. I was like what's his name from The Office? No. That was me.
Right.
I'm Michael Scott. Yeah. So, I know you never really caught Shawn Michaels any of his earlier stuff. Did you ever get a chance to catch any of his like tag team parts with Marty, or not really?
Yeah. Undefeated was there. I forgot about that.
Yeah, he watched my tantrum. He watched my tantrum live.
Right.
So
in terms of his tag team like partnership with Marty Jannetty, I did sort of get into it a bit, but when you say like Shawn Michaels tag partners, I immediately thought of John Cena with like that with that short stint they had as like tag team partners, and then when it came to WrestleMania, they had to face one another. So I think that was definitely the partner that stood out to me more, just because it was the one where I was already watching WWE in. But yeah, I think the one with Marty Jannetty, I only got to like witness in the video games, because I really played like the WWE 2K games or the SVR games in the past. So I think that's sort of how I got my WWE history lessons as well. So yeah, I may have not watched the whole teaming up with Shawn and Marty like on screen in television, but I do know about them from those showcases that they used to have for Shawn Michaels back in the day. So yeah, but of course, I know the iconic barbershop moment that they have. I mean, who doesn't? As a wrestling fan, who doesn't know that? So yeah,
great moment right there.
It's gonna be Yuki. We're gonna go to WrestleMania, and they actually have the barbershop window. Like,
do they?
I think they do. They have it. They had it at one WrestleMania as like a photo op place. But I swear, Geek and I are gonna go to WrestleMania, and we're gonna go to the thing, and we're gonna take a picture of us by the window, and Geek's and me like looking back, like I shouldn't be standing here.
Joe's the real heel. Joe's the real heel of the podcast.
We'll have to do a spot video, and we're like, "Hey, we're at the barbershop. I'm gonna get myself a haircut." And then you're looking. Geek's like,
WrestleMania is coming to Philly.
Geek's gonna be like, "I should not be standing here in front of this window. I know what's about to happen. I'm just gonna
WrestleMania is coming to Philly, Joe. So there you go.
Philadelphia. West Philadelphia.
Not this year. Next year, right?
I know next year they're in Los Angeles. Do you think, Troy? Do you think you ever come out for a WrestleMania or just check the country out? Like, what would you do?
I would love to. Maybe when I become more independent, because I'm still currently in college, so I'm still in the process of like finding a job, settling down, making my own money. So when that does happen, I have no problem flying out for WrestleMania or even for a pay-per-view. I'll be there. I'll be there as long as the means are available to me. I'll be
Yeah,
there.
that's the most important part. You have to have all that money
Right.
to get to the States because it's not easy. It's not cheap, and
True.
that's why I feel bad for a lot of the wrestling fans from like across the pond and like the different
Yeah.
countries because they think it's so easy to get to America. Oh, honey, no, it's not.
Not at all.
You guys have to pay for your passport. You have
Right.
to get clearance, and then you have to pay for the passport. It's not free. They don't just go, here you go. Here's your passport. That's like
Right.
$200 right there, and then you have to go for clearance. And then you have to remember you have to pay for your hotel. You have to pay for your ticket to the show, pay for food, and then pay to bring your laptop and your microphone with you, and then
Right.
security's gonna think you're bringing something bad. Like, ask
True.
Geek.
True.
Geek
Mhm.
knows about that. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, the bag thing, the clear bag thing we're talking about.
what's that, Geek?
We were talking about the clear bags, right? At
Oh
the
yeah,
stadium.
he knows. Tell Troy about your fun with your suitcase and your microphone. That was the best thing ever.
We're talking about yeah, it's like my microphone just got checked by TSA and I'm like, it's a microphone.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're strict.
So, yeah.
I think that's why Geek changed to a headset. I swear to God, that's why.
No, I still have my microphone. I still use it. So
Oh, okay.
yeah, but it's always fun to travel with a microphone. So there you go.
They ask you all these. This is why I swear, Geek, we need to get our what's it called? Our interviewer's license so we can go to shows and get the tag and be like, oh, Joe Panther III, here's your tag. Metal Geek.
Right.
Yeah.
That would be
Because we do interview people. Wouldn't that count as being a reporter? Like, I have a person from the radio station.
You're talking about media clearance, right?
I want media clearance, sir. I need some media clearance. I have a lady that works in a radio station asked me, actually, 2 weeks ago, asked me, Joe, do you have a media clearance yet? Because you do a podcast. And I'm like, well, I've been doing it for 2 years. How would I get media clearance? And she's like, 2 years? That's it? And I'm like, yeah. She's like, but you're internationally known. I'm like, and? Like, what do they think? Am I right, guys? Like, once you start a podcast and you're known in England, that doesn't immediately make you get media clearance.
Yeah, I think so. Because usually, like the people that they give media clearances are those who work with I guess you could say like more established like publications.
Yeah.
Or like those who are like sponsored by media companies who publish like articles and do consistent like interviews, write stuff, and all of those. Whereas I guess they have different procedures for self-made creators or podcasters in our case. So but I feel like we deserve similar recognition as they do because we work just as hard. So
Yeah.
Exactly.
We pretty much, as I've said this and I'll say it again, we do this, all of us right here, we do this for free. We do this for the love of professional wrestling. We're not getting paid by anybody to talk to professional wrestlers or talk about wrestling. If there's anybody watching this show, like, talk to Troy, talk to me, talk to Metal Geek. talk to
Hey Ryan, what's up,
find
dude?
us in the chat. Talk to us. We may be small podcasts, but we love professional wrestling, all of it, every bit of it. I'm mostly the old school in the indie scene, Geekus Indies. Troy right here, we know Troy loves WWE and Impact and AEW. Like, talk to us. We
Right.
know a lot about wrestling. We're very knowledgeable. Like, you don't have to go on some request box to talk to us. Well, Instagram is kind of mean. They toss a lot of people in the request box.
That is true.
We know this firsthand. We've seen a message go, and then we're okay. That person doesn't want to talk to us. 2 months later, right, Geek? Oh my God, I'm so sorry. You were in the request box.
I've
Instagram.
had that happen to me too.
Yeah.
Very filtered with their messages.
Yeah.
So weird. I'm like, I understand because we've had a few in ours, right, Geek?
Yeah.
And it's like, whoopsie, that happened to us finally. Like, okay, Geek, what's next?
Go ahead, Joe. Continue the conversation. You're on a
So,
roll.
what's that?
You're on a roll.
Oh, wow. Thanks, bro. So is there any like indie wrestler that you're thinking of like interviewing that you haven't had a chance to talk to yet?
Yes, I actually have a list of all of them. So right now I'm looking to get to meet, if you don't mind, I'd like to open my planner, I'd like to call, because I have a list of both indie wrestlers and content creators that I'd like to collaborate with. So I'd like to get to meet, I would say, Myla Grace. She's worked on NXT UK, but since we all know what happened to NXT UK on hiatus before their rebranding to NXT Europe, I'd sort of like to get her thoughts on the whole rebrand, how they handled the closure of the show, so on and so forth. On the other hand, I'm also very interested in the Scotland like female wrestler, like the Scottish female wrestlers, just because they have a really good lineage of professional wrestlers in, say, Kaylee Ray or Piper Niven, Nikki Cross, and so I sort of want to get to know the next generation of Scottish female talent. So you have women like Ruby Roberts, Ashley Vega, who I've already had the chance to meet, Emily Hayden, and so on and so forth. But I'd also like to get to meet some more Southeast Asian female wrestlers in our own independent circuit because I know it's difficult for them to have platforms as big as those in America. So I feel like I'd also want to get to know them as well. So there's women like Alexis Lee from Singapore, Nor Phoenix Diana from Malaysia. In the Philippines, we have Chelsea Marie, so on and so forth. And yeah, I have a whole list of these girls on like my phone. But yeah, I can only hope that they can see my emails and hopefully accept my invites. And maybe in the future, who knows? But yeah, those are the names that I have in store for now.
We have quite a few female wrestlers that we've spoken to from Scotland. So who are the ones we spoke to? My mind is
we had Ruby Roberts. We had Brody Adler. That's another one we had, right?
Yeah. Ruby Roberts is really cool. She's really nice. She's sweet, and she's funny. You'll like her.
Brody's awesome.
Brody is so funny. And she's a big nerd, so she'll be like talking about video games and stuff like that. So
yeah.
All right.
She makes a
let me add her to the list.
She'll make
we've had Rain on our podcast too.
Oh, like Ringside Rain.
No,
Oh,
we
yeah.
have. We've had,
You need to get Ringside Rain.
Both we had both Rains.
Oh, who is the other Rain?
I think it's RAYHNANE. So
you should definitely talk to both of them. But Ringside Rain is really nice. She's so sweet. She's so sweet.
Yeah.
First time we had her, because she's an announcer.
This was the week before SummerSlam, by the way.
Yeah, week before. Yeah,
Ooh, like
we got her.
before she announced for SummerSlam.
Before she announced, yeah. And I was like, I had no
cool.
idea. I'm like, whoa, that was awesome that she actually did that before our podcast, you know?
Geek nearly choked
like,
his ice cream.
I was like, no way. Yeah.
Literally, we told her, you're a ring announcer. Do you think you could introduce us? And she's like, okay, what do you want me to do? And I'm like, just like you're in the ring. And what do you want me to say? And we told her what to say. And she did it. And
I might have it. I might have it. Actually.
Geek has his little videos and stuff like that, which should be a funny clip video.
Hello there, wrestling fans, and welcome to the internationally known Dudes at Ringside podcast. And now, introducing your host with a combined weight of none of your business, it's Metal Geek and Joe Panther III, the Dudes at Ringside podcast.
I love that. And I know she's also Filipino, so I definitely need to have her on.
Definitely, yeah.
We'll have to send him your way because she's a doll. That's another one that, like, if you're sad, just look at Ringside Rain. She'll make you smile. Like, she has that smile, like, and then, like, and she has her dog Joe. What's wrong with the name Joe? Joe's a happy name. Like, she has Joe happy dog. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I was just about to say, is there anything you got coming up, or Troy, or?
Yeah, well, I do have my Crown Jewel 2022 review going out tonight, where I have my guest Astrid Pizarro. She's a host of Ladies Wrestling Showcase, and she's a writer for Women's Wrestling Talk. So yeah, I'll be releasing that episode tonight, 10 p.m. Philippine time. So I believe that's 9 a.m. Eastern, I think. So yeah, I'll be having that up, and then next week I'll be doing an interview with a really special guest, and yeah, I'll be revealing it soon. So
okay,
I'll have everyone stay tuned.
Just send us a link to the video, when it's up, and we'll watch. Well, we can both watch it on our individual laptops and give you a thumbs up in the chat, so you know we're there.
Thank you.
No problem.
I want to thank you so much for coming on the podcast, dude. You've been awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me again. Like, it really means a lot for me, who has sort of relatively less experience in the podcasting industry, for some guys like you who are more established and have a bigger platform to allow me to be a part of your show, even if it's just for an hour. It really means a lot to me. So yeah, super huge thank you for the opportunity.
Oh, we'll definitely have you back in the future.
Oh gosh, dude. I felt a fun, cool vibe with you, Troy.
Yeah.
We're thinking about possibly maybe doing like a Survivor Series prediction show, and we could do it early so it's not like so. We'll figure out a time so it's like a good time for the both of us. Make sure you don't have class,
right?
And we'll do like a prediction show. I've been talking to one of our other podcast friends, so figure something out, make it, and have you involved with us. I'm Joe Panther III.
I'm the Metal Geek.
And I'm Troy Gonzalez.
And we will catch you in the next one.